Welcome to the Action Takers podcast. I'm your co-host, Nate. We got JC here with us as always.
It's about drive. It's about power. We stay hungry. We devour. Put in the work, put in the hours, and take what's ours.
JC, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing okay. It might look like I have cancer. Okay, it's because I shaved my fucking head. I'm all fucking clean shaven, so I've got a fresh new look, ready to fucking take on life. I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing, buddy?
I am doing great. Just fucking sweating like hell over here in California, 112, 113 degrees, whatever it is outside. Just trying to stay cool, but life's great.
Well, dude, I'm headed to California in like 2 weeks, I think, and I immediately was like, I was immediately given like really bad news. They're like, oh yeah, by the way, it's like 117 today, and I'm like, how the fuck is 117 in California? Like, I've never seen it this hot in that region of the state at this time of year. It seems like this time of year usually is about 80, 85 degrees, and it cools down way down at nighttime. And now it's fucking, I'm headed there, and I'm like, I don't know what to pack. Fucking, what am I gonna wear? Tank tops every day? Like, you just don't know. So it's very stressful. Very stressful.
Yeah, it's good though, man. It's great. For me, I love the heat, so I'm just gonna keep enjoying it while we still have it before it does turn to freaking fall and it's cold and all that stuff. So working outside isn't fun, but hey, it's all good.
Yeah, dude, working outside in 110 degrees is horrible. It, like, your shoes start melting to the pavement. It's never good. But it's excited to be back. So dude, it's what do you want to jump into first?
Man, wherever, when we just have these random topic shows, I mean, they always end up good. So wherever you want to, where do you want to hit first? I know you got some stuff you talk about.
Yeah, it's one of those things that, like, for the last like couple years, I've been thinking about some things that have gone on in my life in the past. And so I'm, give the audience a little idea. I'm 35 years old. My dad passed away when he was 36. Or excuse me, I'm not 35 yet. I'm 34. I'm going to be turning 35. And it got me thinking, and it got me kind of down and depressed and fucking kind of thinking about the past and all this bullshit. And I was thinking about, I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do? Like, I'm looking at my life right now, and I'm like, I'm not fucking happy. Like, the things that I'm doing and the things that I'm, trying to accomplish just are not coming true. It's just not, I'm just not successful at it. And I got down, so I started fucking drinking again. And with, Nate knows this. I used to be a fucking kind of a boozer. You suck down 6 to 15 beers in a day, and you just fucking kind of forget shit. So these last couple days, I mean, sitting on the fucking couch, lazy as fuck, not taking any action, not doing what we're supposed to be doing, especially hosting this style podcast. But it made me hit a fucking hard reset on my life, to include shaving my fucking head. If you've ever noticed anything, like, I typically shave my head when things, like, I'm making a fucking change. Like, I'm gonna look like a different person. So it's been an interesting couple days. I've got some new things that I'm gonna start taking on. Like, I've got 3 rules that I made up that I think are gonna make me fucking unstoppable. And I'll share them with you. No more alcohol, like, forever. Like, no alcohol at all. 1 workout a day, at least, at minimum, something to fucking challenge my body and my mind. And then my wife quits her job, and it's I don't know. What do you think about all of that?
So what I've never been real big into drinking. All my alcohol consumption is usually socially, right? People go out on the weekends or come over. So, but yeah, I mean, in the more recent, I don't know, 6 months to even a year, maybe even longer, but I've really, stopped drinking that much, because it when you do kind of get into that pattern, and even if it's just a couple drinks, you kind of realize, though, you end up wasting so much time, like a couple hours, right? Or whatever it is, drinking and stuff. And And I've found just the more I can limit it, the more time I can have back to do other things. And but the rules are good. Working out every day. That's freaking. I try and stay. The last I finally worked out today, but the last 2 days I skipped my workouts because starting the new job, and I've been working 11, 12 hours a day, and just freaking waking up tired, just tired. Legs been sore, being on my feet, walking around. Um, so I like that rule. Working out and quit drinking. I mean, those are two good things that I think just mentally and physically. I mean, they're going to help you get on track. Shoot, I like those a lot.
Well, dude, it just got me thinking. I was like, I went through like a bender, not it's and it's I try and take complete ownership of it. We had some family coming to town, and it was a fucking nightmare at our house. And you know, what's the easiest way to fucking to shut out the noise? Oh, you fucking drink too much, and then you fucking waste you waste days, you waste hours. And I was just fucking pissed at myself. I was so fucking mad. And I'm like, fuck this. Like I decided. So most people knows me as JC. And JC typically, I mean, JC's the host of this fucking co-host of this podcast. And I'm a fucking psychopath. Like I'm legitimately, I've done really stupid things and taken a lot of risk and fucking been a Billy badass. I've driven way too fast. I've done all these crazy shit. And I don't want to get into all that. But I realized that my other personality, Justin, is a fucking victim. Justin is my real name. And I just realized, like, when I'm acting like Justin, I'm a fucking bitch. I'm fucking whiny. I play into the victimhood shit, and I fucking hate it. And I was wondering, I'm like, when does Justin come out? And Justin comes out when fucking I'm drinking alcohol. And I was like, fuck it. Bye, Justin. Like, you're dead to me. Like, and it was, I wanted your opinion on this, but I was thinking about starting a YouTube channel of like, like I died. Like I'm dying. Like I'm sorry. Say goodbye to Justin. Welcome to JC. He's a fucking Billy badass.
I mean, it's. I think that will fall under vlogs, and I think they're good. I mean, there's a lot of people that just you know recording their daily lives, their transformations. I mean, that's how they produce content and then become famous or become known for doing those things. So I like the idea of a YouTube channel of doing that, right? Your transformation.
So like the crazy thing is like all this shit's going on, and I for whatever reason turn on Bradley's fucking podcast, and I'm listening to because Bradley he's got some great guests on there occasionally, and some of the guests are just he wants to talk to interesting people, and sometimes it's not interesting. But they had this guy on named fucking you probably correct me on the name. Wes Watson, I think, right? Is that his
Yeah.
name?
Yep. Yeah.
If you don't know who this guy is, just go look him up on YouTube. And I've watched a couple of his videos. And it's just this giant buff dude fucking sitting there screaming at the camera. Like shirt off, a view of whatever view he has, and it's just his way of delivering his content. And it was remarkable because I was expecting to have like 12,000 followers. And no, he's got like 500,000 followers. And he's just producing content that's very, very simple. It's uncut. It's unedited. It doesn't have any fancy fucking tricks to it. Literally, most of the screen isn't even like him. It's like just a window, and it's just him in the corner. So I know you've listened to some of his stuff. What do you think? Is that the proper path? Is that a path that you think is a healthy path to go down to following a guy like Wes Watson?
I think it is for certain people because he's very blunt, he's very straight to the point, and I mean, he's very big on his routine. Like I follow him like in the morning, he wakes up at the same time, he goes to the gym first thing in the morning, same time every day. I think he said he's been doing it for like over 10 years, right? Even when he was in prison, he'd wake up and work out first thing in the morning. And so yeah, I think for a lot of people, they need that structure and that routine to work for them. And yeah, that's I guess that's his thing. One of his things too of listening to podcasts is just calling people out for what they are, right? And Yeah, I think I like following him. I like his stuff. It's, and like I said, it is simple. He's not doing huge production on his videos and his stuff he posts. I mean, he's turning this camera around and writing his copy, and he writes a lot of good stuff too on his stories. So yeah, I like him, and I recommend, yeah, for anyone to wants to change or just get a slap of reality. He's a good follow.
It especially when he starts calling people bitch tits. Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
It just absolutely it's just kind of crazy. So it was weird. It's weird how life kind of puts you into these fucking different like avenues, and sometimes it's like you surround yourself with good people, and you surround yourself with a good attitude, and you surround yourself with some fucking hopes and dreams and some goals and a vision, and fucking all of a sudden like it's crystal clear. Where just a few days ago it was foggy, and I dove into this whole like, why am I like, I set all these big goals, I try to accomplish these ginormous fucking mountains. Is that the proper way to do it? Is because most of the time it's like you set out a vision, you create a vision board, and the idea is to essentially play that image or play that those goals or how that whatever that feeling is that you're going to get when you've accomplished this, this task that you've put in front of you. What is it, and you got to feel it every day. And there was this guy, I can't remember his name. He argued against it. And he articulated and gave it in a different framework, which I thought was interesting. He said instead of framing those goals and visions as these heroic tasks or these unforgettable things that you are going to accomplish, why not articulate it or put it in a way where you, how do I say this? You essentially address the negative to it. So I'll give you an example. The negative side of it, sort of like the failure side of it. So I'll give you an example. Like one of my long-term goals is for my wife to quit her job and to be able to spend as much time with our son as possible. He's fucking grown up fast, and at some point in time, he's gonna leave the house and fucking go off to do whatever he's gonna do, and it's gonna be a sad day. But at the meantime, in the moment, you know, I want her to accomplish that. I want to be able to provide enough to live a fucking huge life where I can do that. So the idea is this. The idea is going and writing down, if I don't create a business that supports my family in a way where I can support her not going to work and in keeping up with our lifestyle above and beyond this, I'm a failure to her. She's not going to be able to spend as much time with our son. And it changed, dude. It's like it absolutely flipped, and I'm like, oh fuck, now it's like there's no option. There's no option of I'll get to it tomorrow. No, I need to do it now. And it's I don't know. It's an interesting, different type of framework that I learned, and I thought, fuck, maybe someone would learn, something from it.
Yeah, I mean it's I had an argument with, I don't know if it's an argument, a discussion with someone, the same thing, right? Of like, hey, should goals be more than that, more than attainable, right? So whatever it is, you're going to set it for more, and you should fall short, and you still accomplish more. Or yeah, should they be more realistic, and you hit that goal? Okay, then you set another goal, then you hit that goal, and then you keep going. Um, because it's, at least from that's a debate, and then yeah, there is a negative to it of okay, if I don't accomplish this, or the negative of not doing it, like you're saying, failing, um, that you helps you transform to that zero options mentality, right? Of I need to do this, so I'm not a failure. Um, and having these goals and going through these things, like we've talked about in a couple episodes ago, you mess up, you do mishap, you mistake, whatever you want to call it, however you want to call it, failure, whatever. I think realizing it, getting called out on it, knowing, that you messed up, and resetting is great. I had a reset, a month ago or so, whenever it was, and it I'm in a better spot now, and freaking working a lot more and doing things and getting back on track. So it's the reset is really helpful. Realizing that you made a mistake is really helpful, and getting punched in the gut, slapped in the face, whatever you want to call it. Um, it it sucks, especially during that time. There's a few weeks of just really just being in a bad position, and but once you get past it, get in that a little bit better spot, not where you want to be. It's great to feel that and be like, man, I was able to get through it. I think that's the biggest thing looking back of like, yeah, it sucked in that moment, but then it got better, and then now it's progressing in the right direction again. You're back, getting back on track. Um, yeah, I know it's a little long winded, but yeah, I mean, like I said, that's all good stuff. Because yeah, looking at the negatives, and right, you don't want to be a failure. You don't want to let your family down or people that rely on you or whatever it is, and it's a great and sometimes necessary reset to take that step back to move the two steps forward.
It's like, and I keep thinking back to like the way I was raised and the environment that I was involved in and some of the life choices I've made. And it just seems like I've had a lot of structure in my life. And I was very successful and there's a lot of structure. And that's one of the things that I think I'm going to implement to help accomplish some of those goals and be more structured and be more efficient with my time.
I agree. I think what really set me back too was having that freedom which was on me, but it allowed me to become relaxed and not do the things I was supposed to be doing. And now, yeah, and like I said, now I have more of a structure, right? I mean, we talk about being independent entrepreneurs, whatever it is, but for me, at least right now, to get back on track, I need to have that structure. I need to have that place where, hey, I got to be here at a certain time, there at a certain time, and while I'm there, I'm gonna, work and kick butt at that particular thing, and then still do things on the side. But yeah, having that structure is depending on where you are. I mean, it's sometimes it's necessary. It helps you get back on track because sometimes we take advantage of the freedom, and then like I said, we freaking put ourselves in a bad position.
Well, let me give you this piece of advice that I'm going to steal from Gary Vee. Gary Vee says, if you're a struggling entrepreneur, go find a job. Go find a job and find a job where you could spend 4 to 8 hours a day working on your side hustle, working on whatever you're fucking trying to accomplish. He goes, I've got thousands of employees. I'm guessing there's a handful of them who are making fucking 15 TikToks a day and fucking making a giant personal brand while I'm paying them. And it just kind of reminded me that there's on this journey, there's many different paths and you can take different routes and you don't have to do the whole burn the fucking boats and, pray it works, save up 6 months worth of cash and just hope that, your tech startup is going to fucking work, unlike, 90% of them do. 90% of all businesses fucking failing the first year or 6 months or whatever it is. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I thought that was a pretty unique take that I took away from with Gary Vee.
And you want to talk about that? There's a stat I saw. I think I forget who posted. It was a big influencer, but he was talking about in 1955. The Fortune 500 companies at the time, only 30 of them are around today. So think about that. In the past 70 years, only 30 of those Fortune 500 companies are still around from 70 years ago. And, and it just like that, it's just one of those things that if you're not able to adapt and change with the times, and you're saying from the companies that are around now in 50 to 70 years, probably the same thing. Only 30 of them will still be around. So, and you're talking about huge companies, right? I mean, we're not just talking about small businesses, entrepreneurs. We're talking about companies that are nationwide, well known, that at that time were probably around for 50 years, right? Like I'm sure Sears, I don't know if Kmart was that. I know Sears was probably a big one that was on that Fortune 500 in 1955 who's not around anymore. So, and
Yeah.
so there's a lot of things to even learn from that, from a huge perspective.
That's always intrigued me about like the percentages and the chances that we take. And it just like one of the things that I like to tell myself, it's like it's either you're going to take the risk or you're going to go work for someone that's willing to take the risk and willing to get the benefit from it. And don't get me wrong, like I have failed a lot, and this weekend was a real quick reminder that I've got a bunch of shit that I need to work out in my head. I'm a psycho crazy person, and I need to get some shit fixed. But building one of those companies, like, I think it's very doable. Like some of those Fortune 500 companies that I think about are usually around a personal brand, usually around someone's fucking name. I mean, I don't know. Was Ford around 70 years ago? Yeah. Was Porsche? Yeah. BMW? Yeah, probably. And go, Chanel or fucking Coach. All of these fucking companies have been around for fucking 150 years. And you got to think back and you're like, those are just personal brand. That's someone's fucking last name. So looking at that, I mean, unless your name is Facebook or fucking Meta, I don't know how much longer you're going to last.
Yeah, and just to, I guess, kind of even say the opposite, which is kind of crazy to really think about, where there's just right there, Facebook, Netflix, some of these companies that have only been around for the past, what, 10 years,
Yeah.
in where they are, right? And as top Tesla, um, before that, PayPal, into, like there's Amazon, right? All these companies that have been around for 10 to 20 years, and boom, look how big they are. They're the top of the market now. They're so small compared to, yeah, like we said, some of these companies have been around for 50, 60, 70 years, and they're already surpassed them. So yeah, even if you've been around for a while, you can still fail. And even if you feel like you're just starting out, you can be at the top in a matter of time if you just have that right thing that people want or need.
Well, I think, like, you know, getting back to this Wes Watson guy, I mean, he goes, "You motherfuckers should be absolutely 10 times richer than me. Because I was in prison for fucking 10 years. Okay, I sold drugs and pointed guns at people. And I'm like, yeah, you're fucking right. Maybe. But am I gonna discount myself? Because I recognize, I'm like, well, I was probably the asshole chasing you 10 years ago. If you were anywhere near our jurisdiction, it's we might have been hunting you down. And I got to thinking, he's right. But I think if you were dealt the cards of, hey, go get a good job with good benefits, put your money in a 401k and a 457, a match, dump it in the stock market like everyone else. Dude, I think we gotta fucking change. Like, I think we have to be fucking men, and I think you have to be a fucking badass to really go out there and succeed and go away from the fucking norm. I was thinking about it and I'm like, all these motherfuckers that I hang out with, right? What do? They fucking drink, right? And what do they do every Saturday night? They get shit faced, right? And then what do we do on Sunday? Well, fuck, they drag their ass out of bed at fucking 2 o'clock and go play golf with me. And I'm thinking of them, I'm like, why the fuck am I surrounding myself? And hopefully more are listening, but just to understand, if you are listening, you are one of my buddies that are doing this shit. Just understand that I'm going to be the sober guy from now on. And I think it just, when the masses are going in one direction, I think a lot of those, big companies at that point in time, I mean, Tesla, Facebook, I mean, Twitter, fucking Netflix, Airbnb, VRBO, all these ginormous companies that are now evolved into, pretty much, the S&P 500 fucking golden goose, comes back to when people were fucking just, acting like cows, you fucking got after it and did something different, did something kind of crazy.
Yeah, and it's funny. Wes Watson kind of falls into with a lot of these people that I follow that are all in their early 40s, right? And have had, like I said, I think he says he got out of prison 4 years ago. So at 36, right? 36, he had nothing, and then he's built this in that short time, and that's, he's pointing out like that a lot of people have had more time than him. But he falls in these people that, and I don't know, right? We're not there yet. We're just kind of getting into this at our age is finally there. But there's a lot of people that have had, like Andy Frisella, Ryan Stewman that I follow, Wes Watson. They're all in their early 40s, and they have been building stuff, since their mid 30s or even longer than that. But it's kind of crazy that, you know, uh, you know, what it is, and when you get to age and realize of things that, like I said, making mistakes and changing and getting on the right path where you can go, seeing what people have been able to do during our time where we currently are.
It's just and it's a good reminder that you can really accomplish a lot in a short amount of time as long as things go right. I mean, you got to get I don't believe in luck. I believe in hard work and things just work out better for you because you fucking had more at bats. But I think yeah, I think it can be done, and I think it could be done rather quickly. Some of the things that I'm gonna take on in the next couple weeks is just fucking getting addicted to good shit, right? Like become maybe not become Mr. Beast, but maybe become Mr. Beast for fucking 10 years. Mr. Beast he's going to be a billionaire. He's got hundreds of millions of followers and he's fucking addicted. He's just done it longer than everyone else. He started YouTube before YouTube was even fucking YouTube. He was just posting videos on fucking MySpace, and it reminds me that there are people out there, there's examples out there that have started out fucking not in the best place and have accomplished a whole bunch of cool shit in a short amount of time. I mean, you think about Wes Watson, 4 years. Fuck, if it took you 10 years, in retrospect of your 85-year life, that's pretty good. That, I could take that.
Definitely, and so I just recommendation to you. I haven't implemented this, so I just we're talking about. I just finished the book Atomic Habits, and they talk about stacking habits, and basically, let's say you have a good habit that you do already every day, and then stacking. After I do this habit, I'm going to do this afterwards, and so yeah, I mean that can help building on getting on track, right? After I go to the gym, I'm going to read my book. And you do that every day because we have our habits that we do every day, right? I don't know. We get up, we brush our teeth, we take a shower, whatever it is that we do. But implementing these new good habits on top of our habits that we already do, and yeah, I mean, so I highly recommend that book if you haven't read it yet. Atomic Habits has a lot of good stuff in there for building habits and moving in the right direction.
Well, it's one of those things. I mean, someone brought up habits, and they're like, if your neighbor mows their lawn, you're probably gonna look at your lawn and go, "Fuck, does my lawn need to be mowed?" I don't want to. I don't want to be the guy with the long lawn. You don't want the fucking weeds growing out there. So it got me thinking, and I was thinking about that, and I'm like, as I'm just in our very very small community, I'm looking around and I go, these fucking people do influence you in some habits, and most of them are good habits. Take out your trash when it needs to be done, clean your trash can, fucking mow your lawn, wash your car, fucking make sure your house isn't covered in spider webs like mine is right now. And I think, yeah, I'm gonna take on that book. I think that's gonna have to be added to the list here. I've got a fucking giant stack right now, but I'm working through it. I think so. You just reading the book, what is what is one takeaway that the listener or I could fucking take away that I don't need to read the book for?
I mean, just like that, like I said, it's that's one thing that there was another good thing they had. I'd have to look at it to exactly how he worded it, but the big thing is, I'm going after I do this, I'm going to do this, right? And just having it right now, after I read my 10 pages, I'm going to send 3 emails, or I'm going to make those 3 phone calls, and just stacking things to where they're a habit. And it talks about, yeah, you have having to do it every day, and really building off your habits that you already have, that you already do. Because once they're a habit, you're already constantly doing without thinking about them. And that's the whole point of stacking these new good habits with those habits you already have. And that's the one of the big takeaways that I've taken from the book that I want to implement. Of, hey, I'm already doing certain things every day. Reading's one of them. That's just I constantly, I don't even have it on my power list anymore because I just already do it. It's just what I do every day. So it's okay. Now what else can I implement with my reading that I need to be doing to have it, make it a good habit. After I read, I'm gonna send my emails for the day, my follow-up emails or my prospecting emails, or and one phrase I've been trying to really really do of things of like to audit myself as is what I'm doing income producing activities, right? Like making phone calls, sending emails. Like, cause we'll get into that. I'm scrolling, you start scrolling on Facebook or Instagram, you're like, this is not an income producing activity. I need to change it. And that's one thing I'm always saying to myself when I catch myself doing something I shouldn't be doing of like, is this an income producing activity? Is this helping me get to where I want to go? You could say income producing or goal reaching or whatever it is. If maybe you're trying to lose weight, right? Catch yourself. I'm about to drink this soda. I'm about to eat this cookie. Is this a weight loss producing activity, or is it I think it's just getting a phrase that wherever you're trying to accomplish and get that in your head and audit yourself when you all of a sudden find yourself doing something mindlessly. And like I said, my thing is I'll start scrolling on social media, and it usually once I realize that I'm doing that, it gets me to get off and start doing something else.
It's interesting, man. I'm gonna have to check that book out. It's good deal. Well, if you've gotten to this point in the show, one, I apologize because I was kind of off my rocker today. But also if you liked it, fuck, please leave a comment, subscribe, like, share it with a friend, and don't be shy. Don't be fucking shy, because I'm over being shy. I can promise you that.
I think we've both gotten to that point where we're just trying to just be more real and freaking this is our I don't even want to call it our therapy, our way to get our stuff out, right? We just vent to the world on YouTube and on our podcast.
Like I want someone to comment like, these crazy motherfuckers, they just yell at us. Like, why are they yelling at us? Like, I'm gonna turn the speakers down to fucking level 2. You know what I mean? Like, I gotta listen to this shit on fucking high speed so it doesn't fucking, the bass notes don't hit. It yeah, no, I'm with you. It's one of those things that just fucking cracks me up. Yes, it is a therapy session for me. I could either be, reading a book or talking shit with you, which is, pretty good stuff. I fucking ain't sucking down 10 beers tonight, so I might as well do something productive.
Yeah, it's always a fun time, no matter what. We're always getting everything out there. But yeah, I hope more people start subscribing, liking, commenting, all that good stuff.
I would love to hear some negative comments too. I want people's real opinion. The trolls out there in the world, I love responding to you, and just questioning, because fuck it, maybe I can learn something from you. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, as former President Donald Trump says, any publicity is good publicity, right?
Grab them by the, fill in the blank. Like, what are we doing? Like, first of all, who leaked that fucking, audio? It wasn't the competitor. I guarantee it, because that was like the most popular thing in the world. Like, it was, it was all over the fucking internet. We all heard about it. Yes, you're absolutely right. It's yeah. Any publicity is good publicity, unless you're behind bars. That's the only time when it's bad.
It's about drive, it's about power. We stay hungry, we devour. Put in the work, put in the hours, and take what's ours.